welcome to another episode of Cemeteries Down Under. We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to show you a different type of graveyard. It's a graveyard of ships. This was opened to the public in 2003 and it became a wrecking yard for ships that are now discontinued in 1996. So we'll show you around and show you some of the shipwrecks.
Stay tuned, guys.
So I'm going to show you some drone footage just so you've got an idea of where the shipwrecks lie in Homebush Bay. And it's not my drone footage. It belongs to a man called Dan Soussi. I'll give you a picture of his page so you can check out his other drone pictures that he has. He's done some drone footage around Sydney and he's done some really good work. So thank you, Dan, from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to show this footage on my video today. So in 1966, the Maritime Services Board approved a section of Homebush Bay for the use of a shipwreck yard. In 1970, a wooden ramp was constructed to break up the vessels ashore. After breaking, they were scuttled off Long Reef off the coast of Narrabeen as part of the shipwreck reef formed from 1976. All shipwrecks over 75 years old are automatically protected from disturbance by the State of New South Wales Heritage Act in 1977 and the Commonwealth Historic Shipwrecks Act 1976. Any relics in New South Wales waterways over 50 years old are protected under the Heritage Act. So this one here, you can walk right up to it, but it's the unknown shipwreck. They don't have any records or stories about this one, but we'll give you a look at it. Stuck in the mud solid. So you can still see the remnants of the old barge where they took the ships in to dismantle at a nearby factory. And now it's all residential and industrial area, as you can see, the bay. Gives you a closer look at the barge now. You can't walk on it. It's all wrecked. Now there's 5 shipwrecks here in the bay that you can see, and the one in the far right corner where I'm pointing is the SS Mortlake Bank, and the one straight across is the SS Airfield, and I'll tell you a little bit about them when we get closer. So HMAS Karangi was a bar-class boom defence vessel operated by the Royal Australian Navy during World War II. It was constructed by the Cockatoo Docks, an engineering company at Cockatoo Island Dockyard, Sydney, and launched on the 16th of August 1941. So the vessel was awarded the Battle Honour Darwin 1942-43 for her wartime service. In 1952, Karangi participated during the atomic tests at Montebello Islands in Western Australia. Okay, so Karangi arrived in Darwin for boom defence service on the 24th of January 1942. She was present during the Japanese large-scale carrier bomb air attack on Darwin on 19th of February 1942, and during subsequent service in the area experienced numerous air raids but escaped damage. So with the exception of a period of refitting in Brisbane, Karangi served at Darwin until the end of 1943. In mid-1944, she proceeded to Fremantle in Western Australia, where she remained until August 1952, carrying out various duties in northwest Australian waters. So a boom defence vessel's job in the Navy was to lay chains in the harbour to stop enemy ships entering. And during its time in service, it had an explosion where 6 Navy men were injured, and one petty officer, Francis Daniel Baker, was killed. And he was a petty officer, and his name is in the Roll of Honour in the War Memorial in Canberra. So in 1965, the HMAS Karangi was sold for scrap, and she now rests in peace in Homebush Bay. So directly behind the HMAS Karangi lies the tugboat SS Heroic, and Heroic was a steel-hulled steam tugboat of 258 tonnes and 38.1 metres in length. It was built in South Shields, UK in 1909 for Thomas Fenwick, and they were tugboat operators of Sydney. And in 1911, it towed the 3-masted French warship Yuri to Sydney from Nemea for breaking up. During World War I, it was commanded by the British Admiralty, renamed Epic and engaged in rescue work off the Scilly Isles. By 1919, it was back in Sydney as a working tug. During World War II, it towed a Lara back to Sydney after that ship had been torpedoed off Sydney. It was sold to J.B. Mullins in 1973 to be renamed Bustler 2. However, sometime after that, it was brought to Homebush Bay for breaking up. It is located just offshore on the southwestern corner of the bay. It is heeled over and lying on its port side with its bow pointing to south. It is alongside the wreck of the HMAS Karangi, and it is closer to the mangroves fringing Olympic Park. I'm going to do a little video, and if anyone wants to read what this is saying, just freeze it and then have a read. But these are the two wrecks of HMAS Karangi and SS Heroic. So this shipwreck is the SS Airfield, and she was launched as the SS Coromol. Now, she's the most photographed wreck in the bay, and she's named the prettiest one due to the mangroves growing out of her hull, and she is very spectacular, especially at night or different angles of sunrise and sunset. She was a steel-hulled steam collier weighing 1,140 tonnes and 79.1 metres long. It was built in the UK in 1911 and registered in Sydney in 1912. It was commissioned by the Commonwealth Government for the transportation of supplies to American troops stationed in the Pacific regions during World War II. In 1951, it was sold to Miller Steamship Company and was renamed the SS Airfield and operated as a collier between Newcastle and Sydney, and she was transporting coal. In 1972, she was sold for scrap and transported to Homebush Bay, where she was abandoned, and she now rests in peace in the harbour. So the last shipwreck you can see lies behind the SS Airfield, and there's only part of her bow visible, and that's the SS Mortlake Bank. She was a steel-hulled steam collier weighing 1,371 tonnes and 71.65 metres long. She was built in the UK in 1924 and purchased by a company in Melbourne. It was used to transport coal between Newcastle and Mortlake. On the 31st of May 1942, during World War II, SS Mortlake Bank entered Sydney Harbour, passing through the anti-submarine boom net when the Japanese midget submarine M24 made entry under the ship's keel. So the SS Mortlake was partially scrapped before she was abandoned in Homebush Bay, and she's probably the saddest shipwreck here to be seen. So my shout out today goes to Cemetery Visits with Jim. Now Jim is a lovely man and a big supporter of the cemetery channels, and he's now started one of his own. So I'd like to give him some of his support back. Please check him out, like, share and subscribe. He's got some amazing stories with his videos that he started, and please show him some love and check out his channel. So I hope you enjoyed our little video of the shipwrecks of Homebush Bay. Besides my love of cemeteries and history, I do have a thing for shipwrecks, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see other history locations as well as the cemeteries in Sydney and New South Wales, let us know in the comments. We thought we'd just try something different, so we hope you liked it. So, like again, hope you enjoyed. Let us know in the comments, and thank you for watching.
Talk soon, guys.